Hello everyone and welcome back to episode 108 of Schooling Around. This week we're going to head over to OELC to speak with a new hire, then we're heading over to Addison Public Library to speak with a butterfly expert, and then back to Addison to hear about their new building coming very soon. So don't go anywhere, Schooling Around starts right now. Kicking off this episode 108, we're going to head over to OELC as promised and speak with Rob, the new director over there. Take a look. Hello everyone, as you can tell by this mural behind us, we are at OELC. I'm here with Rob. This is our new director
of early childhood for Oxford Schools.
Can you tell us how you first decided, what brought you to Oxford actually?
I've been a resident of Oxford for 18 years, and when I saw that this position was open, I decided I was ready for a change. I've been a classroom teacher for many years and thought I would take a chance at the opportunity, and I'm thrilled to be a part of Team O.
Yes. So, resident of Oxford, were you also a teacher in Oxford?
I was not. I was a teacher in Lapeer.
So still not that far away?
Right, just a short drive.
So what positions leading up to this? Obviously, you said you were a teacher. What grades did you teach?
I've taught kindergarten for the past 8 years. And before then, I had a similar position for Lapeer Schools. I've taught preschool and also started my career in 3rd and 4th grade.
So you can, basically, you're certified and you have the credentials to teach little kids, babies even, like OELC has, on up until, how old are 3rd graders, 2nd and 3rd graders?
It would be my experience with them, the 3rd and 4th graders, 8, 10, 12 years of age, but certified through 8th grade.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Even further.
Yes.
So can you tell us some of the plans that you have for OELC this year?
Well, this is such a solid program already, and my hope is to reinforce the positive aspects we have going here, and then also to bring in some literacy pieces to help the kids, those who will be moving on to the elementary school next year, transition and be really solidly prepared for that transition to kindergarten or DK.
And it's summer 2019, so it's a lot of renovation and construction and a lot of things going on with all the schools in district. Can you enlighten us a little bit on the specific additions to OELC?
Well, regarding OELC, since we're part of the Oxford Elementary School, most of the work's been down at that end of our building. One of our classrooms has been affected. They're renovating the HVAC systems. So we're hoping to get into our buildings within a couple weeks. We've been over at the middle school with our summer camp and having a great time over there, making the best of the situation, but it's worked out really well.
And school is starting in just a few weeks, actually. August is this week, so it's coming up pretty fast, and obviously you're going to be in the building beforehand.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Our hope is to get in our building the week of August 13th, 14th, and then our open house is scheduled for August 22nd from 5 to 7 for all of our families who are attending at OELC. And
especially for the younger portion of it, are all of those slots filled already? Is it still room for more enrollment?
We do have some space available. It all depends on the class, of course, but you can contact us at our office to find out the availability for enrollment.
And although you guys aren't here as of yet, are the phones still, connected? Can they still get in contact with you right this second?
You can. Number we're at, but you can get a hold of us through the website, and somebody will get back with you as soon as we can.
And is there a deadline? Most importantly, deadlines for enrollment. Are there strict requirements on that?
As far as deadlines, not necessarily. As long as the space is available, we will be willing to continue enrolling throughout the school year.
Good, good. Now, for those who don't know or aren't quite sure what OELC, all the grades and age demographics they offer, you all offer, what are those?
So we have infant and toddler, infant beginning at 6 weeks of age when the parents go back to work, and then we have 2 and 3-year-old classrooms, and then moves into 4-year-old preschool, and our GSRP classrooms, those are held in other elementary buildings also. And then we also have before and after school care, the extended day programs.
So you heard it here first. Let's give a huge welcome to Miss Robb. Also remember that there is still a few slots and different classes open for enrollment. So if you would like to get your child enrolled in that or just find out more about OELC and everything else that they offer, contact them or look online. But until next time, I'm Alexis Orr. So that was Ann Robb, the new director over at OELC, explaining all of the different things she's incorporating and keeping the same this school year of 2019 and 2020. Be on the lookout for that, especially because school is starting very soon at the end of this month, actually. Moving right along into our next story for this episode, we're going to head over to Addison Public Library and speak with their butterfly expert. Take a look. Hello everyone and welcome to Addison Library. Today I am here with a very special person, as you can see by some of the footage here. Can you tell us what you do?
Well, one of the things I do here is I raise caterpillars, and I not only raise them for my own pleasure, but I raise them because I want other people to see these hidden treasures in nature.
And tell us why you're here at Addison today. So you want other people, including children, to see these beautiful creatures.
Yes, and it's important our children see these because they are the future of our country.
Have you done something like this in the past?
Yes, it's been several years, well, it's been several years, but I still, I enjoy getting out when I can. And in between those years, I've been also giving chrysalises and caterpillars to a nature center. Yeah.
Now tell us how you first got started in, we're going to start that over. So tell us how you first got started in taking care and nurturing these caterpillars until they're butterflies.
How I started, let's see, well, I've loved nature all my life, and in fact, I started off with insects when I was just a little boy, and my first caterpillar that I raised was actually the pesty tent caterpillar, and I didn't even give water to their leaves. I just piled the leaves on top of each other, and they kept building their tent on it, and I would put more and more leaves, and then I went away from insects for a long time. It was partly from being teased in school or whatnot. And I went to birds and then other animals and plants, and now I've come back to insects.
And how did you first get started into coming into libraries and speaking to the kids like you are today?
Oh, that's a good... I think I may have started. Now, this might not be accurate, but I believe I started by setting up my caterpillar stand like this at Kensington Metro Park. The Nature Center. Yeah.
And are you doing a similar presentation to what you did then?
Yes. One different species though. I didn't have Luna moth, two different, and I didn't have painted lady back then.
What are the difference between these insects for people like myself who don't really know?
Well, if you look closely right here, Alexis, you can see that this caterpillar here, like the Polyphemus, has like a tannish head and the big bumps on its body. Then if you were to come over to here and see I'll bring this over so you don't have to come on and look at the Luna moth. See, they blend in so well that I have even trouble finding them. Here we go, here's one. You'll see these guys have, hey, are you playing peekaboo? They have green heads.
And when did you learn about all of these different ones? Because this is a lot to memorize and actually know.
Oh, well, first of all, the learning never ends. There's always something, some new behavior to learn, or there's some new way to identify them or find them.
Yeah. And what are you going to be specifically telling to the children here today?
I am going to be telling them what things are, of course, and where they can find these, and how I collected them.
How many do you have, just for knowledge?
Oh, what do I know? Including the real tiny ones at home, I may have 200. But I will let a lot of those little ones go as they get bigger.
How do you care for and take care of and even have enough space for 200 caterpillars?
Well, fortunately, there's plenty enough space to even for my wife. So, well, when they're small, they take up such a small space, and what I'll do is I'll have them, like with the painted ladies, I'll put netting over a branch of a thistle branch, and I'll have all these tiny little caterpillars on there. And I just recently discovered that was an ideal way to raise these. So you can, it's the learning's forever. And with the Luna moth, I pretty much just put them right away sometimes I'll have them in a sealed container, which sounds mean, but it keeps the food plant alive. And when you have small caterpillars, it's hard to keep them in a cut branch in a big tent, or you might lose them.
And that was one of my other questions is, how do you keep track of all these? I mean, I didn't even see this one on this plant right here. They blend in so well. How do you keep track?
Very carefully. I have to be very mindful of where I grab a plant or where I put them, or how long I leave them outside unprotected. Okay. Yeah.
And now once they, develop, get big enough and go into their cocoons, when do they become a butterfly? And do you keep them after that, or do you let them go?
Well, these guys, it'll take till next year. With the Luna moths and the Polyphemus, it'll take till next year before they hatch out, which will probably be in June. Okay. So they will overwinter in the cocoon in a special cage I have for cocoons, which has tough hardware cloth so nothing can get in there.
Well, it looks like story time is just about over, so I'm sure the kids are going to be coming over, so I have to make room for them and let you go ahead and teach them and do everything that you're about to do today.
Thank you, Lexus.
That was just one of the many things that Addison Public Library was offering over the summer. Remember, there is a few more weeks still left, so there are still activities going on, as well as their school year long things. So be sure to check with your local library over at Addison to find out what they have going on all school year long. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to hear from James about their new building.
We here at OCTV cover the local events and government meetings of Oxford, Addison, and Leonard. We also produce and edit programs for you viewers out there. With the leadership of our station manager, Bill Service, we have been a very successful team, winning awards from the state of Michigan for Best Electronic Media, giving attention to our local veterans. We also won awards for excellence in directing and educational programs. With the help of our great new equipment and our technical directors, we write, produce, and broadcast our local news for you. Without our production manager, Terry Stiles, our channel and station wouldn't be the well-oiled machine it is today. She coordinates the editing assignments and shoot schedule with our editors and camera people. OCTV and its communities make a great team.
Hello everyone, today I am here at Addison Public Library to speak with the library president as well as the director. This sign here behind me, buildalibrary.org, is one of the main reasons we're going to be here today. So let's go. Hello everyone, I am here with Jama, library director. We're going to ask her a few questions like, what all did you guys have for the summer?
Well, we had some really comprehensive, exciting programming this summer. We had our theme this summer, which was the universe of stories. And all libraries in Michigan were pretty much following that theme. We capitalized on the idea of space and the idea of stories. And we had an Apollo 11 presenter. We had animal astronauts, which was an exotic animal show and presentation. And we had Pell Up with a Pony, which brought ponies to the library, and children were able to practice their reading skills. So we try to provide a chance for children to keep up with their skills over the summer. It allows them to maintain their skills and their knowledge that they've acquired it during the school year, and it keeps them on pace with their classmates. So when they come back to school, they're ready to start with strong skills.
Absolutely. That definitely happens over the summer. A lot of times students forget maybe some of their curriculum from last year, so you guys help in that department. What other things besides reading do you do? Is it kind of like a summer tutor session or a summer class session?
Well, we always have tutors here. And a lot of our community takes advantage of those individual private tutors. But our children get a chance to take home a reading log. We ask them to read 20 minutes a day, which is, a very minimal amount of reading. But they can also collect stickers, which they turn into tokens, and those tokens can earn them prizes. But at the same time, they also get in the chance of earning a huge prize at the end of the summer. This summer, we gave away a Kindle Fire. And we gave away 4 Barnes & Noble gift cards. And we also included our adults and our teens as well in those prizes.
And going along with what you said, the prizes and tokens that these students acquire during the course of the summer, that's what we saw yesterday at the end of summer reading party.
Yes, that was our end of summer reading program party that you attended, and we were expecting good weather. We were hoping to have an outdoor event, but because the weather did not cooperate, we had the event indoors, and we had over 60 people in the building, as you saw. It was exciting. There was a huge amount of excitement, but we were really thrilled to have it. We hope to get a larger building so we can accommodate these programs. All summer long, our programs, our outstanding programs, have really, we've had more than the usual amounts of participants attending. So we hope to have a larger building so we can accommodate all those wonderful events.
And that's certainly a big topic. We're going to talk about that here soon. But before we do, can you tell us what all the Addison Library has to offer for the remainder of the summer?
Okay, well, as we said, the summer reading program ended yesterday, but we continue to have weekly story times throughout through the end of the summer. So every Tuesday morning at 11 o'clock, we'll have an all-ages story time, which includes a captivating story as well as crafts and sometimes a presenter. And we try to bring presenters in from the community. As we did this morning, we brought in Jed Bromfeld, who is a caterpillar expert, and he brought his entire collection and shared it with our kids and our parents, and it was a really wonderful experience.
Can we also expect to have similar activities like this during the school year?
We don't have as many activities for kids during the school year, but we do have a regular genealogy group that meets here once a month. We have handicrafters that meet here twice a month, and they do knitting, crocheting, and art. And we have, let me think, we have, I'm trying to think, well, no, basically that's pretty much it right now, yes. Awesome. Yes.
So now we are going to talk about that building here. I believe it's a special guest here to describe a little bit better everything that's in store for that.
That's correct, Alexis. Yeah, we have James Baldica here from the library board.
All right. And we have to talk to him.
Yes, you bet.
As promised, we had to speak to James. James, can you again tell us what your title is?
I'm the president of the Addison Township Library Board of Trustees.
And can you explain to us what all that title entails?
Well, the Board of Trustees, there's 6 of us. We're elected every 4 years. It's been 2 years since our last election, and we pretty much guide the ship. We work very closely with the director in managing the budget and directionally what we spend on and what we don't spend on, and we just we make sure that the investment made by the residents gives us the best and the most library for our buck.
And we had a conversation before the cameras even started rolling where you said a lot of people don't realize why we still need a library because we have Google and different things like that. Explain to us why we do need a library.
Well, historically, libraries serve the function of books, checking out books, making copies, getting your tax forms. All that has changed. Libraries today, and there's a lot of research about this, serve a much different function. They, especially in a community like ours, they bring people together with consistent interests and take advantage of the expertise of the library director here and the staff and our Caterpillar professional and our exotic animal guy and the reading to the ponies. Those things you can't get on Google, and people, they develop a connection to their library, and that's a big part of what we do here.
And not just their library, but the people inside the library.
Correct, right. It is about the people too.
And now talking about not just the people, but the building itself, a big thing this year is a new building. Explain to us again why Addison needs a new library building.
Well, 8 years ago, we moved into this space, which is about 3,000 square feet, and we had a very complimentary lease rate for 10 years, and that lease is up in March of 2021. So that was 8 years ago. 11 years ago, the library was donated 3.8 acres of land for the purpose of a new building. So for the past 11 years or so, this has been in discussion, and we've been planning and saving, and it just seemed like the time is right with our lease coming up to, make the jump and let's build this library.
And explain to us what the new library looks like. I saw a diagram, and it looks pretty cool.
Well, it's all on paper now. Yeah. It's roughly 33% larger than our current space, which our current space is 33% too small according to state standards for a community our size. And we see that when we have events here and it's standing room only, and we don't have enough chairs, and we don't have a room with a door on it in this library except for the bathrooms. So our new library addresses those concerns. We have a multi-purpose room. We've got a larger dedicated children's area. We've got a quiet area for adults to sit and relax and read. We can't get everything we want because money is a finite resource and all of that. So we're planning within our budget. We're doing a lot of fundraising now to help us get the most library for our budget.
And like you said, a library serves way more purposes now than it did in the past. So you need those spaces for the community to come together, not just for kids, but adults as well. And a lot of times adults don't always want to mingle in with kids.
Right. That's a big problem we have now, and I've been here for our monthly meetings where there will be somebody reading quietly, and then when the board shows up, we're kind of loud. There's no place for us to go, and I see people pick up and leave. And I would love to be able to have a room where we could have a meeting and not disturb people, just as I'd like to have the kids off around the corner so they can do their thing and not disturb. So, our new library is planned to be 5,000 square feet. I've heard some people say, why not build it bigger? I'd love to. We're building it to the size the state recommends and making everything fit within our budget.
And tell us again, or I guess tell us now, some of the fundraising that you guys are doing so that we can pitch in and help and do what we need to.
Okay, well, one thing people don't understand right now, today, we are 76% of the way funded, right now. We are doing fundraising, though. We've got a brick campaign where you can buy an engraved brick, and it will be installed in the foundation of the building forever. All right, 3 lines of text. We're selling tiles. We're also reaching out to businesses. And we've got a letter writing campaign, and we've been calling local foundations. And I have like really great news that I can't share yet, but there's like really great news coming in regards to our funding. So I'll keep it at that, and it should all go through, and everything will be great. In another couple of months, we'll be able to unleash that. But I'm very confident we're going to meet our budget, which will allow us to, continue to offer the great programs we have with the revenue that we get through our annual taxes.
And this building, this lease, is up in 2021. So is that when you're looking to move into or even break ground for the new building?
I'm looking to break ground this fall, right across the street. I hope to be cutting, not myself personally, maybe cutting trees, clearing the space. It's a challenging piece of property because it's hilly. We're using about a third of it, maybe a half, but the cost of the land prep is almost half of our total cost. So just getting a parking lot and a place for a building is a significant amount of money. But what are you going to do? You know, we have this piece of property, right? So we're going to work within that and do the best library we can with the resources we have.
And I'm glad you mentioned parking, because right now you have parking that accommodates this building, which, you know, if you have larger groups, you still need more of.
Right.
What is parking designed to look like at the new building?
You know, I have an illustration I could go get.
Absolutely.
Should I go get it? Okay, it's right over here. Okay, so our new location, we're planning for approximately 32 parking spaces with overflow parking on gravel to save cost, another 12 to 16 spots, which should accommodate most programs that we have here. I hope we have a parking problem. I hope that we have so many great programs and so many people show up that future boards, if I'm still on the board, great. If not, if future boards have discussions about adding the parking lot, enlarging the building, building out the patio, you know, I would just love for that to happen. I think it could. I think the more people that become aware of what goes on here and the effort that the community puts in to make this library a real thing, that it will become and stay the vibrant thing that it is. The supervisor, he's been quoted, and you can check, this library is probably one of the busiest buildings in the township.
And you mentioned patio. That's rung a buzzer in my head. That sounds very nice, especially for summer.
Well, right. And our floor plan accommodates, I think it's a 680 square foot patio because of the way the building is laid out. The architects have assured us that down the road, if we wanted to, we could put a roof over that and enclose that. So actually enlarge the building. So we're kind of planning for, you know, the future, and, you know, with our design today.
And this is a pretty great floor plan as well. And then you do have the structure, the little white structure I saw yesterday. Is that kind of what the roofing is going to look like, or something of the sort?
Yeah. The 3D printed model. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us and describing a little bit better everything that Addison has to look forward to in the near future.
You know, there's one other thing I want to say. We have a website where a lot of the information about the building, the history of our design, how we got there, you can find it by going to www.letsbuildalibrary.org, and there's also fundraising information and volunteering information, and we just love to get more people informed about what we're doing, because I think that will help with the momentum, and we'll just get this done.
And if someone were inclined to donate as well, that's also where they could do that, by visiting that website.
Certainly. Yep. Right now, one of the things we're doing now, which doesn't require you to get your card out at all, we're building an index of contractors or people who want to volunteer time or energy. You know, we're going to cut a lot of trees down. There's going to be a giant pile of logs. I'm wondering if there's anyone in the township that might help us haul away firewood to their backyard. Okay, so there are volunteer opportunities. And we have a handful of people who have already raised their hand and said, I will help you do this, I will help you do that. And visit the website, put your name in the hat, and we will put you on the list. And when the time comes, we'll call you.
Great. Well, thank you so much for explaining to us everything that, again, that Addison has to look forward to, as well as you guys and the rest of the community. Guys, remember, if you would like to donate your time or a little bit of money towards the cause, you can visit that site or maybe stop in.
Yeah, definitely. We've got a display of our brick fundraiser. It's a really cool process. It etches in glass.
Oh.
It should last forever. That's our plan. So.
Well, you heard it here. Until next time, I'm Alexis Zor.
Thank you.
That was James and Jama talking about the new building and all the different renovations they have going on with that. Remember, if you would like to donate anything, your time or money towards it, there's also additional fundraisers you can help support. You can contact them at the library or log on to their site at addisonlibrary.com. They also spoke about the things that they have going on inside the current building, so be sure to check those out as well, especially as summer is ending. But that about wraps up this episode of Scrolling Around. Until next time, I'm Alexis Ware.